Is that literally all you do?
Yeah. It's easy.
No.
Just sit there and just let it cook.
Okay. Good morning and welcome to the first ever episode of Chris Cooks. When you are quarantined for multiple days and you're running out of ideas on things you can do in terms of videos, one of the ideas you come up with is a cooking show. So here we go. First of all, let me tell you this. I'm not a chef at all. But I figure one thing I can do since this whole quarantine thing is going on is I can try to improve my chef skills. So one thing I have been pretty good at, and Cory can attest to this, is cooking breakfast. I enjoy breakfast. It's probably my favorite meal of the day. And I have a new tool that I can use to cook breakfast, which I've already done earlier this week. And it was delicious. That is the air fryer. Air fryer is awesome. I've used it quite a few times and air fried a number of different things. And today I'm going to be using it to fry up some tater tots. So what I'm going to be making is a hearty, savory breakfast. It's going to have some mini sausages, some scrambled eggs, and some tater tots. Very basic meal, but very hearty and kind of the perfect thing to enjoy in the morning when you don't really have much else going on. So let's cook up some breakfast. Of course, whenever you are doing any kind of cooking, you always want to make sure you wash your hands thoroughly before you touch any meats, especially raw meats. Anytime you touch raw meats or dairy, you want to make sure you wash your hands thoroughly. Very important, especially with everything that's going on. So don't forget, wash your hands a lot. So the ingredients we're going to be using for this meal, of course, we have some extra large eggs. There we go. Some eggs. Some Hillshire Farm Little Beef Smokies. These are great. They're normally like cocktail wieners, but if you cook them up as like your meat dish for your breakfast, they're really, really good. Some delicious Colby Jack cheese. And some frozen tater tots. It's a pretty simple meal, honestly. You don't need a whole lot of stuff, so I'm gonna get cooking. All right, so I'm only using two different cooking mechanisms for this meal. First is the air fryer, which I have right here. That's gonna be used for the tater tots. And then over here, my little skillet pan that I've already put some canola oil on. That's gonna be where I'm gonna cook the sausages and the eggs. So, first step I'm gonna do is load up the air fryer with the tater tots and get those cooking. It usually takes about 10 minutes to cook tater tots in an air fryer. So I'm gonna get those started. You just have to keep an eye on the time because about halfway through you need to shake the basket. So I'm gonna do that and then we'll get started on the second step, which is gonna be the sausages. All right, so as you can see, I've loaded up the air fryer basket. Don't wanna load it up more than like halfway full-ish, so which I've kind of done. So I am cooking for two people, so I'm gonna cook a little bit more than I normally do. So the air fryer is good, so now I'm gonna put the basket into the air fryer. Air fryers are actually really easy, at least this one is, to use. Make sure the temperature is set correctly. I set it for the maximum 400 degrees. And then I'm going to adjust the knob to be 10 minutes. So those are gonna cook. I gotta make sure to check on it every 5 minutes to move the basket around. But otherwise, these should be good to go. So now on to the next step. All right, so I set my stovetop to a medium-high. Pan is ready to go. So the first thing I'm gonna cook is the sausages. And the reason why I'm cooking the sausages first is you can get that grease into the pan and then use that to kind of enhance the flavor of the eggs. So I'm gonna do that, but let's cook up these sausages first thing. All right, here comes the hard part, because you're essentially gonna have to bounce back and forth between the sausages and the air fryer. I have it set for medium-high, so I need to keep an eye on the sausages, make sure they don't burn. So essentially what you're gonna need to do is toss them when they've cooked on one side, but also keep checking on your air fryer to see what time it is. Like right now, it's actually time to toss it. So I'm gonna shake this up. So what you do for that is you pull out the tray and you toss your tater tots through. They actually already smell really good, so I'm excited about that. Once you've done that, you put it back in the air fryer and it continues cooking. So these are actually good now. I don't have to worry about them anymore, which is nice. So now I'm going to focus entirely on the sausages. I'll get these ready to eat. So the key with the sausages is keep an eye on them and cook them until you get them to like the doneness that you want. They don't take that long because they're so small. I like them to have a little bit of char on the side just because I feel it gives a little bolder flavor. But don't let them burn. So you're going to have to toss them fairly regularly. So these are almost done, so I think I'm going to put them on a plate. Okay, so these are a little darker than I would have liked, but I think they still turned out pretty well. I'm sure they'll be good. That'll be my batch since I'd rather not give Cory burnt food. I mean, they're not that burnt, they're just a little charred. So I'm going to cook one more batch. The tater tots are finished, so let's take a look at these. Oh yeah, look at those. Golden brown, exactly the way you want them. They smell great, and they got a nice crisp to them because of the air fryer, so these are going to be great. So I'm going to leave those in the air fryer for now, just because I don't need them right away. And I'm going to cook one more batch of sausages and then get to my eggs. Alright, so I think I overdid it a little on the temperature for the sausages. They're a little more crispy than I would like, but this turned out pretty well. So, sausages are done. The tater tots are done. So last thing I'm going to do is the eggs. Now, I'm only going to cook my eggs because Cory does sunny side up eggs. And I'm not an expert on that. So I'll probably have him show you how to do the proper sunny side up egg. But I'm going to do scrambled eggs with cheese because that's my type. So, for starters, you're going to need a bowl to put your eggs in. So I'm gonna do 3 eggs. I'll crack them in here, mix them up with a spoon, and then put them into the pan. All right, so here are my eggs. I did add some adobo seasoning to kind of punch up the flavor. So I'm gonna blend them up, put them in the pan, and get scrambling. All right, so here's my eggs. They're scrambled with cheese. I added an extra cracked single on top of some shredded cheese. But now, Cory is going to make sunny side up eggs, because I've never made them before, so I figured he'll show me how to do it. Okay, so Cory broke the egg just in the pan straight up, didn't scramble it or anything. Is that literally all you do?
Yeah, it's already easy.
No.
You sit there and just let it cook.
Okay. I think the hard part for me is like getting it out, probably. Because I know that takes a little skill.
Maybe.
Okay.
Just gotta make sure that first the yolk is visible, and then you just let it cook for a bit.
Do you add any like seasoning to yours, or do you just cook them straight up? Because I added adobo to mine.
Yeah, I normally put some maybe like on top.
Okay.
But I'm not sure if I'm going to put it.
Okay. Cool. So literally just watch it as it makes weird noises and bubble. Kind of satisfying to watch this egg shake and shudder.
Yeah.
This is sunny side up and a fried egg are the same thing, correct?
Just about.
Is there a difference?
I think you have to flip it over and flip it on the other side.
For which one?
For the fried egg.
Oh, for fried egg, okay. So this is the hardest part. This part I'd probably be the most nervous about is trying to get the egg to come out without breaking the yolk, because that's part of the reason why you cook it sunny side up is you have the egg or the yolk still liquefied, so you can break it over whatever, or just mix it with the rest of the egg. So
I think it's pretty good now.
okay. I have the hash browns; those are done. I just haven't pulled them out of the fryer yet. It's beautiful. There we go. Perfectly fried egg. And here is our finished food. Sausages, air fried hash browns, scrambled eggs. Cory has a sunny side up eggs. He finished it with some sesame oil. So, ready to enjoy our delicious hearty breakfast to get us ready for a day of quarantine again. So, yeah. Anyway, thank you for watching this episode of Chris Cooks. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll probably do another one of these at some point. Probably, because I'm going to be bored, run out of things to do, I'm sure. So I'll try to cook more, and I'll show off some of my creations. I actually have one that I was planning on doing today that didn't get around to doing, so I'll probably do that later on. But anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on Chris Cooks. Bye.